And welcome back to the Afterparty podcast. This is episode 3. My name's Chris. This is Adam.
What's up, y'all?
And today we're just going to be us. This is our first official episode without a guest. But we definitely have a lot to talk about, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. I think the topic we wanted to cover today was music in general. But the coolest thing the most interesting thing that we've been talking about lately is how bands, introduce themselves to the world with track 1 on album 1. And it got us talking about it after we heard that, I asked where Good Times, Bad Times was on Led Zeppelin's discography, and Adam said track 1, album 1. I was like, fuck yeah,
boom.
Dude. It's a great way to start out.
Kicked it off.
So now when I think about any band that I've been listening to, I like to go back and look at what track 1 album was, or track 1 on album 1 was, and it's pretty cool. Led Zeppelin's a great one. I think the best one is Boston.
Yeah,
More Than a Feeling.
It's definitely way up there.
Yeah, that's just a great debut album in general.
I was gonna say their whole first album is like all of their best music.
Yeah,
there's just nothing as good after that.
Yeah,
I don't think I know any songs by Boston that aren't on that album.
You know, it's like Amanda. You know that song?
Mm-mm.
You
told me about that song though.
Yeah,
I think we talked about that.
But there's another one. Oh, Don't Look Back. Don't look back. Fucking that one. Okay, cool, very cool. But those are the only two I know, and so
I think we talked about it. Yeah. They mentioned one of the band members. I think hopefully this is true because I read on the internet.
Yeah.
So they said like how you have your whole life to prepare this first album, mm-hmm. and after that it's like, all right, well, what do you have now?
Yeah.
Like a year or two. What's next? Especially then, wasn't it like the trend at that point in time was like every year almost you put out an album, or like every other year?
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot more frequent than it is now.
For sure,
I think David Bowie has like 17 albums or something.
Yeah,
because he started in the 60s when there was just kind of like, it was really just like a product mm-hmm. that you were selling. There wasn't as much artistry to it. He was definitely a pioneer in artistic music. I know that sounds ridiculous, but back then, you're just selling radio singles and
Call of Duty, just annual release, dude.
Exactly, just shitting out product. So, it was like that's a pretty intimidating thing. But the White Stripes are the first band that I know of that saved songs.
Like what do you mean saved?
Like their song. There's a song, "Dead Leaves in the Dirty Ground." Mm-hmm. It's my favorite White Stripes song. That came out on their 3rd album.
Okay.
But there are videos of them playing it live, I think like around the time their 2nd album came out or before their 2nd album came out.
Okay.
So I feel like the song was saved. Or like The Same Boy You've Always Known. That's another song on that album. Mm-hmm. And Jack White wrote that song before the White Stripes were even a band.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And so he had that song, mm-hmm. and he just kind of... I don't know if it's because he didn't think it would fit on the 1st or 2nd album. I think it would fit on the 2nd one, so maybe he did just abstain from putting it on.
Yeah.
But, it's kind of... It's a whole thing of like, maybe you should just save a couple, Save
a couple of the good ones.
Yeah.
Houses of the Holy, Led Zeppelin.
Mm-hmm.
That song is on Physical Graffiti.
Yeah. I hate that. I hate that so much.
It's really weird, yeah. I feel like that might have been like...
intentional.
I forget if the 2nd disc of that album is like... It's all like... I'm not sure the word would be. Not like it was like stuff they didn't use in the past.
Yeah.
I don't think it all was, but I know that was one of them. Obviously.
Yeah. Because a lot of well, that's what Coda is, right?
Right. Yeah. It's like not outtakes. I don't know what the good word for this stuff is.
It's just B-sides and demos.
Yeah, and stuff they didn't use.
Yeah.
Some good songs on there too.
Because a lot of bands have those kinds of albums, and I love when they do. Because I'll mention the Killers again. I will always. So you might as well get used to it if you're listening.
Yeah.
They have an album called Sawdust, and it's like 17 tracks, and it's all like demos that they didn't record. Yeah,
it's a good name for that, Sawdust.
Just kind of like
everything that grinded
the
off.
Shavings. Yeah. So it's like, I think it's a very cool idea, and I think the Smashing Pumpkins have done it. Led Zeppelin's done it. I think. That's the only ones I can think of. Oh, My Chemical Romance did it.
Really?
They added a couple demos and unreleased songs to their greatest hits album. So it's kind of a, and actually the Killers did that too with their greatest hits album. They recorded 2 new songs and they put the Mr. Brightside demo, which is very raw.
Did you see any,
to say the least?
Did you hear like any songs in those that are like notably like way different than this, like the sound the band has? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a song on Coda that's like, it sounds almost like a punk song.
Really?
It's like very like fast.
I was gonna say anything like something that's so different that doesn't sound like a Led Zeppelin song, because Led Zeppelin has so many.
It's like obviously
so many diverse
you can tell it's like Led Zeppelin, you know,
yeah,
Robert Plant's voice, but it's just not their sound.
Yeah,
and not that like they've done so much different stuff, obviously, but it was just like it's just something, another thing completely different.
What song is it?
I want to say it's like ripping and something, thrashing and something.
I'd love to. I haven't heard it.
It's a cool song. It's just really like fast and it just doesn't sound very Led Zeppelin, but it's cool.
Yeah, that's there are a lot. There's some Killers demos for sure. There's a song called "Replaceable" and a song called "Desperate." They sound very similar to each other, but it's very. They have some things that are very Killers, but overall, like it's also probably just had to do with his age. But Brandon Flowers didn't even sound like himself. When you go on the YouTube video of the demo, they're like, "Who is that?" Like people don't believe that it's
yeah, same guy.
Because I think he was like 21 when they recorded it, and then when the first album came out, I think he was like 23 or so. But yeah, so there are a lot of songs, but I love that, you know, like it's
cool to see, like where they came from,
and just the evolution and stuff stuff they tried out. But then there are also songs that they didn't put on that album that I know of that are just still demos that I wish they would fucking record. There's a song called "Waiting for Love" by the Killers. If you have a second after you're done watching and they're listening to this, check it out. It's on YouTube, and it's clearly just like they were in a room that had some mics in it, and they hit record. That's how you do a demo usually, like a very first stage demo. But that's a fucking great song from beginning to end. Yeah, it's a great song, and I wish they would do something about it. And then there are songs they left off it. That whole album is jam packed with stuff. I don't know how many songs are on Coda.
Oh, I have no clue, but it's
a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah,
it's
more than a few.
Yeah, there's just so many songs that I wish they had put on albums. You know, like there's this is one of my top 3 favorite Killer songs is on Sawdust, called "Leave the Bourbon on the Shelf," and that was supposed to be on Sam's Town, their second album, but they just didn't put it on there for some reason. It would have fit perfectly. I don't know.
Yeah.
So track 1, album 1, where we're getting. I guess we should name some notable ones.
Yeah, I mean,
Led Zeppelin, Boston.
Dude, Rage Against the Machine, Bomb Track.
Bomb Track? I don't know that song.
It's a really good song.
Yeah.
Speaking of demos and stuff, like you were saying, I listened to like the demo version of that song, and it's like it's so weird to see like how it sounds like raw. You know what I mean? Like before it gets like really well produced and all this stuff. Like it makes it seem more like doable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Because like you see like, oh, this is their first song off the first album. You're like, holy crap, they were just that good right away. You're like, okay.
Yeah. Cause
there was a rough cut there, and then a diamond in the rough, if you will.
Yeah, I think that's what. I think that's why a lot of bands put those on there, because they sound objectively pretty average,
Right. Yeah.
But
like it's a good song. Like when listening to it, it's a good song, but it's just. Sounds a lot more rough, a lot more raw.
You can do this too. Like it's
exactly.
Like the first time I heard the Mr. Brightside, it's Mr. Brightside. It's one of the most successful songs of all time, and one of the most famous songs still to this day. And you hear the demo, and it's like, everything is just, the guitar is very distorted and very muddy. The vocals are very pitchy and raw and objectively not great.
Right.
The bass in the mix is so fucking loud. It's like I hate when bass is way too loud. Don't get me wrong, I love when a song has a lot of low end, and I like properly mixed songs, but holy shit, man, it's so it's so hard to like enjoy a song when you just have like it's like everything. And I'm not, because you feel it, you more than hear bass, you feel the bass, so it's like. And it's so jarring. Like I've had so many times where I'm mixing in the studio and I don't hear it on certain speakers, but then you go in the car and the bass is so loud. It's like, oh, dude.
Yeah, fuck. I remember that when going with you guys.
Yeah, it was that one studio that was just, oh god, it was terrible. It was like, the mix was just so. It was garbage. it was So
we hearing those original mixes of stuff, or like the whatever you want to call it, the rough mix, all that stuff is like very. It's cool because, like you said, it's like almost like a reassurance. We're like, oh,
It's
okay, they were the same as everyone else.
Yeah, because we've talked about this before. Where I don't imagine like Led Zeppelin like rehearsing.
Right.
Like, you don't think of them like, okay, let's you want to come like doing all the stuff that every other band that I know or my band does. You know, like I don't imagine them like going to someone's garage and jamming.
Just walking like, we're gonna kill it right now.
Yeah,
let's do it. Okay.
Just hit record. The song's done. We haven't played it yet, but it's done. Yeah, they have this weird mystique to them. I'm sure it was like a sign of the times, but it was they definitely have this aura to them, which is crazy. But I would love to hear Led Zeppelin demo. I mean, they were also kind of like technically a super group.
Kind of, yeah.
You know what I mean?
At the time,
it was an evolution of the Yardbirds, and so they kind of hit the ground running. It's not like it was their first whack at being in a band,
right? Yeah,
and that always is a good thing usually, and it saves them a lot of hassle with the first recordings. But even then, like Robert Plant was 19, right? When
I think John Paul Jones and Jimmy Page were like
24, 25
established per se.
Yeah.
And then the other two, Bonham and Plant were more like just starting out.
Yeah.
That's I think.
No, I think you're right because I know Robert Plant and John Bonham were friends,
and they were pretty young. So I feel like they couldn't have had much of a career.
And Jimmy Page asked them to join, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's cool to see bands do that. I don't know. It's there's also this video of the Killers, and there's a bunch of video of the White Stripes early performance, like and Metallica. Even Metallica was pretty fucking good from the beginning. I'll give them that, man. Like the earliest footage of Metallica, they were fucking incredible. Like they're kind of an anomaly. It feels like most metal bands are that way.
I think if you're like a good metal band, you have to be pretty tight, or else it just sounds like noise.
You have to be extreme. Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? It just gets like muddy and
that's very true. Like every good metal band that has made an impact on the world had probably started out pretty fucking good. Yeah, because metal, it's kind of weird. Metal has metal has so many requirements of the genre itself that so many other genres don't have. So it's very noisy. So all the guitars are very distorted. So you can't, if like in Guitar Hero when you hear the chung, like that happens. You know, when your guitar's that distorted. So it's like if you aren't very precise with your parts and don't have tight rhythm playing, it's gonna sound like shit, you know. So
what was their first song they put out? Do you know?
That's a great one. Hit the Lights.
Oh, that is a great one.
That's the first, and it starts with that. It's like what the fuck is going on?
What's happening? That's a really good
great one, man. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Hit the Lights.
That's a fucking great song. I love that. That's probably my favorite Metallica album. Just I like bluesy Metallica.
What's their first album? Which one?
Kill 'Em All.
Kill 'Em All. Okay.
Yeah. Like the Four Horsemen, which is my favorite Metallica song, was on that album. But yeah, so and they knew they were like, that's the thing. A lot of people ran with the idea that that's the first one you're going to hear. Because it was 1983. Imagine putting on that album, dropping the needle, and you just hear like that slow creep of just like. You're like, what? Huh? Like, just like
no, that's awesome.
And then the song starts. It's
I think the first time I heard that song was Guitar Hero Metallica.
Yeah.
Because I think it's the first song on the game.
There you go.
I think that's ironic.
Yeah.
Obviously intentional.
Yeah.
But
that's like, I don't know, man. That again, we talked about this with Matt, but Guitar Hero Metallica got me into Metallica.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Because I was back in the day. I used to be alarmingly into Guitar Hero World Tour and Guitar Hero drums.
Oh, dude.
And
who wasn't?
I would come home and play Guitar Hero drums for like 2 hours every day. And I got to the point where I looked up the world record for the highest score, and I was like, I could fucking do that.
I could
and
beat
so
that.
and it was on Guitar Hero Metallica. It was the song "Merciful Fate." It's like a medley of covers that they recorded, that Metallica recorded, but it's the longest song on the game.
Jeez.
And it's like it harbors the highest score possible, I think, like of all the songs. So it's the highest score by a single player on a single song. And I saw the guy, his score, I forget, I think it was like 1.71 million, and he missed 3 notes. And I was like, if I miss less than that, I will beat it.
Of course.
And so it took me a while, and I didn't have any again, this. If you want to believe this, you can. I have no proof. I took a picture of it on my Chocolate Touch that I don't know where it is. I didn't know how to contact Guinness. You know?
Of course.
I was 14. So, but I fucking did it. I beat the score.
I think that's believable because Guitar Hero drums are pretty like.
It was more. Go ahead, I'm gonna cut you off.
No, I was gonna say like, if you're musically inclined, I feel like, and you know how to actually play drums to a degree, and like you're playing those drums, like you can actually like do it.
Yeah, it was, and Guitar Hero drums taught me how to play drums.
Yeah,
that was the positive that came out of it. But yeah, so I think I missed like 1 or 2 instead of 3 notes.
Yeah,
I didn't get 100%, that's for sure. So I definitely missed at least 1 note. But the song's like 11 minutes long.
Jeez.
So
that's so long.
I can only do like 1 or 2 runs a day, and I'm just like, oh fucking shit. And there was one part too. I remember the fill. It was like an offbeat, like it was like a really long, not solid fill like that. Instead of like, it was like, which I wasn't very used to at the time.
Yeah.
So that would always fuck me up, and I would lose track of. Because when I would see a stream, like a fill, you could see like 8 notes. Right. But with that one, I didn't know the exact.
There's like a little overlap.
It was an odd number, so it's an odd number, right? And yeah, exactly. And so I would like fuck. I didn't know. I would like panic a lot, and it was just that would be the one that fucks me up. And I was like, mother. Yeah. And it's like halfway through the song.
That's tough.
And that's why I don't speed run. That's the moral of the story. That's why I never got into speed running.
For real.
Because fuck that. But yeah, Guitar Hero Metallica was great. They got me into Metallica, and that made me want to learn all their songs. And it wasn't good enough to learn Kirk's parts, so I learned James' parts.
Kirk's part? Oh, like is that
that's lead guitar?
Lead
yeah,
guitars?
I wasn't good enough to learn those, so I learned rhythm guitar, and I'm glad I did because it made me a very solid player. I think so.
Good foundation of fundamentals.
Yes,
all that stuff.
Yeah, and they're still hard. Don't get me wrong. Like James Hetfield's parts are incredibly challenging. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. So
I definitely played Guitar Hero 3 when I first got it.
Yeah,
I played it till I think I started crying because my hands hurt. I'm not even joking. However old I would have been when that came out, Guitar Hero 3, I got it for Christmas.
Yeah, we were in 7th grade.
And I definitely, I'm pretty sure I cried at the end of the day. My hand hurt so much. Because, for me, I had tiny hands. I still kind of do. But to reach that, orange note, dude.
Oh, dude, yeah.
My pinky was
yeah.
I can still, right
brutal,
here, I can feel, my tendon now.
God.
And my hand, by the end of the day, it just hurts so bad.
Yeah.
But I wanted to beat it. I almost beat the whole game in, one day. I played Jesus long.
And Guitar Hero 3 introduced me to the Killers.
Oh yeah, that has
that was when you were young on it, and my life was changed forever. That was the game that made me want to get a Wii, believe it or not.
That's fair.
Because my neighbor had that, and he would bring his Wii and Guitar Hero over, and we'd play it for hours. And then that Christmas, my parents were able to find a Wii. Do you remember? Did your parents have a hard time finding a Wii?
Well, here's my little story. Quick little side note.
I have a
my brother, Mark, worked at Circuit City.
Oh shit!
Got me a Wii the year it came out.
Oh!
I got one that Christmas, and there was a shortage. Dude, no one could find one anywhere. Dude. I got the Wii, and I got Twilight Princess, and my brother Brian gave me a Twilight Princess guidebook. And dude, I was sad. I was playing Wii Sports and Twilight Princess for a couple weeks, dude. Just guidebooking it.
Yeah, that's a 60-hour game, so.
Not with the guidebook.
Good point.
But it was, dude, that was all. I remember I didn't think I was getting one.
Yeah.
At that point, because dude,
I didn't know what it. I mean, believe it or not, now because I'm a huge, as you know, a Nintendo fan, and I didn't know that I didn't keep up with new consoles coming out. Mm-hmm. It was just kind of in my life. I had an N64 when I was a kid, and I was like, oh yeah, there's a new one now. Right. And then I didn't know there were release dates, or I didn't watch E3 or to see what was coming up, Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden it's been playing GameCube for years. My parents got me one. It was the release date was really when my parents got me one for Christmas. That was
really,
you know what I mean, or the weeks up to, or the month leading up to it. I saw a friend that had one. I was like, oh, that's a new console, and I was like, then I asked my parents for one, and they would get me one, and then the Wii came, and that was the exact thing for the GameCube and the Wii and the N64. Think about it. Mm-hmm. So it was. Yeah, so it was Christmas. We got ours Christmas of 2008, I believe. No, it came out in 2006. So we got 2007.
Okay.
Yeah, we got the year after.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because I just didn't know what it was really until then. Mm-hmm. And my parents, God bless them, they looked for a long time and they were not able to find one. And then one day they went to Target, I think kind of early, and there was no one else there. They bought 5.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so they bought 5. and then sold them. Scalping, dude.
Good for your parents.
Yeah, because I mean, there was no limit then. I think the Wii now Nintendo has all these limits with like one per person with like amiibo and shit.
Yeah.
But I think that was the thing that started.
Point.
Yeah, because the Wii, as much as like Nintendo had that before, where like I remember I've seen like news coverage of like when Mario 2 came out, or when Mario 3 and Mario World and Super Nintendo and stuff. Yeah. Like it was still crazy to get shit, but I think the Wii, that was because that
different animal.
Yeah, it sold like what at least 100 million, almost 200 million systems, which is unbelievable. So that kicked things up a notch, and I think that definitely took them long enough. I feel like because it's in the news story or whatever, there's like a dad who's like, I drove to 5 states to look for Mario 2, and I can't find it.
Sad, just sad.
But I'm sure eventually. I think they talked to him after he eventually got it, and he was in New York. He's like, I'm from Maine.
Oh my god,
I don't know, it's something ridiculous though. Like,
yeah,
I'm from Illinois. I drove from like one person said they drove 5 hours.
That's too far.
I know.
That's too far.
Yeah.
That's
Did they even make that longer distance calls back then?
No. Yeah, no.
So, yeah, it was something else. So, I don't know. I don't know how long we've been talking. I think we're probably like 15 minutes. I think we're
something like that.
We're trying to get half-hour episodes. I forgot to look at the time. I think we started at like 3:10.
I think it sounds about right.
3:36. Okay. Yeah, like we'll do like 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was supposed to be about song 1, album 1, but whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were talking about Metallica. Talked about Guitar Hero Metallica.
But then
the Wii launch.
Yeah, because you do.
This is normal.
But isn't that crazy that video games have bridged that gap between the greatest metal band of all time and a Nintendo console? And there's one tie, which is Guitar Hero Metallica. Dude,
well, video games in general like shaped my music taste.
Yeah,
that's another topic.
We talked about it with Matt. You remember?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
yeah, because we said I wouldn't play guitar if I hadn't heard TNT by AC/DC on Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. You know,
dude,
and then
who doesn't love the song Superman by Goldfinger? Because like every time you hear that, you're like, oh, and you just picture like Tony Hawk at the school, and you're just like in your head.
And then our personal kind of black sheep, Dave Mirra freestyle BMX 2,
great soundtrack.
Paranoid, She Sells Sanctuary,
Sublime's on there. Doing Time.
Yeah, Doing Time. That Godsmack song was like,
that was the theme song.
Yeah, that was the main one that would come on when you turned the game on, right?
Yeah, what was the dude? Tony Hawk 2, the opening track.
I only have 3 and 4.
Well, 2 opening track, Guerrilla Radio.
Oh fuck!
Like, dude, like those songs were phenomenal.
Like 7, you're like,
I can't take this. Dude, it had Power Man 5000.
Fucking Rob Zombie's brother.
Yeah, dude, it was what was that? Worlds Collide.
Yeah, that's a great song.
That was on there, dude. Like just crazy good songs.
It was still like another one that was on. I think it was on Dave Mirra. It was Down by 311.
Oh,
like, down.
Did you say Makes No Difference by Sum 41? Because that's on there.
No, I didn't.
That's a great one.
Is that on Dave Mirra?
We can have a whole podcast about this. Let's cut it there because that's another topic.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Cut that topic there because I could just go on and on.
Yeah, honestly. So,
Madden, FIFA, dude, like I could just go on.
Yeah, I think Madden was backwards for me. I discovered songs and then they were on Madden. I was like, oh fuck. Like American Idiot.
First time I heard Andrew WK was Madden.
Yeah, I didn't hear Andrew WK until fucking 8 years later, so I was very behind. Actually, the first time I heard Andrew WK was on the Jackass soundtrack. Or I saw a video of Jackass and it had Totally Stupid on it.
Totally Stupid.
It's like, boom, boom. It's on the second album.
Oh,
you know it. It's my favorite song on the second album. It's a fucking great. So it's like that one and Never Let Down. What else is on there? Long Live the Party.
Dude, I want to have a party. Speaking of first album, first song, Andrew WK.
Yeah, It's Time to Party. Fuck yeah.
That's a good one.
Dude, that's because that song, I think that album is just as jarring in context as Metallica was in the 80s. Because I Get Wet came out in 2001. And it sounds like it could have come out this year.
Oh, you know I know what you mean.
And it's as heavy as like heavy music today, which is through the roof. you know, if you're listening to the right bands, mind you. But, I mean, for heaviness, if you like a band, that's fine. I'm not gonna like shit on you for liking a band, but there are but there are bands that are so fucking heavy that people can't even comprehend. But that's another episode in its own, like you said. But yeah, I think that album, like 2001. Imagine hearing just like it just starts with the da 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 da, like that guitar, like da, 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 and then every like 10 people screaming "It's time to party!" You know what I mean? That would be pretty crazy after coming off like the Backstreet Boys.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I didn't even think of it that way.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like it was like, I mean, I was into it. I was 4 and I fucking love the Spice Girls, love NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. But yeah, and like the best song for that year, I think, was "Beautiful Day" by U2, which is I love that song.
It's a beautiful day.
That's a great song, and it's not nearly as heavy as NWK, but what is, you know?
What was their first song? Do you know? U2?
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was on the album Boy.
Would I know it?
I think it's "I Will Follow."
I don't think.
I'm gonna look it up. That's their first single. That's for sure. It might be
because U2's put out like 200 albums now.
But I think they put out like 12 or 13, which is lower than I expected.
Yeah,
but
I expect you to say like 20.
Yeah, no, it's not that high. Believe it or not, I thought it would be too, because they put out so many albums that people just don't talk about. Yeah, right. "I Will Follow." That's a fucking great one. I'm glad you brought that up. "I Will Follow." That's a fucking great song. That's the first song my dad heard by U2 in a club.
Interesting. And
it got him into U2. Which, there you go. That's the perfect. That's very. First song, first album. That's what got my dad into them. You know what I mean? Like that's
cool.
It's a very pure way, very uniform way to get into a band. I got into them the first time I heard U2 was on the fucking iPod commercial. With Vertigo.
Yep,
that blew my mind.
Them just in the are they in the desert? And it's like,
well, I think they mixed it because they had their own white headphone commercial on top of the video.
Oh, I forgot about those commercials.
Remember that? And it was just U2 with the headphones.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure. I could be...
No, you're right.
And 100%. And I was like, holy... And like the "How to Kneel," like that whole note and the resonance, I was like, what the fuck? That's such a fucking good song. I love that song. And so that really got me into music, honestly.
Those commercials were awesome.
Yeah, because I heard Vertigo and I was like, I need to listen to this every day, all day.
I need to see those commercials now.
Yeah,
like they're fun. The silhouette dancing,
and they have like a fucking huge iPod.
It's like getting down. Yeah, two-handed it.
But yeah, that was a very very accelerated and exciting time.
I think I remember seeing it on either VH1 or like when music videos were still on whatever.
On VH1, yeah.
I remember seeing them and that.
Yeah.
Because I think my neighbor's dad would just like leave that channel on and have music videos going.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I remember seeing that and being like, this is
and just that probably had a big influence on me with color and everything, because it was just the silhouette with the headphones and just color.
Like block color.
I think that's fucking great. I still love how those look. I think they hold up, besides the actual headphones being dated now.
Now it'd just be like tiny little small like thing just
someone
past
has long
the
hair.
ear.
Just
That's funny.
But yeah, so I guess we'll cut it there for this episode.
Yeah, YouTube's a good one to cut it up on.
It is. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll be back next week. So we'll see you then.
Bye.
I love you.